Hi, this is Jitendra Ashok from CY3675. Today we will see how to program the CY2XO13 or the FleXO device using the CY3675 programming kit. Before we start, you will need to ensure that you have the PSOC programmer and the CyClockWizard 1.0 softwares downloaded and installed in your system. These softwares can be found at cypress.com software. The CY3675 programming kit is the next generation programming kit at Cypress. It consists of three main components. The first one being the main programming board, a USB cable which helps you to connect your PC to the main programming board, and a 12-volt power supply. In addition to the programming kit, you will need a socket adapter. Note that each socket adapter is specific to the device that you wish to program, and hence for each device you will need a different socket adapter. What is the flow of programming that we will follow today? We will first create a JEDEC file using the CyClockWizard software. We will then go ahead and set up the CY3675 programming kit. We will then use the clock programmer software to program the JEDEC file that we created onto the actual device using the clock programmer software and the CY3675 programming kit. We will now see how to create a JEDEC file using the CyClockWizard software. In the CyClockWizard software, first we will need to create a new project. Go to File, New Project, give a particular name and specify the location in which you would like to store the particular JEDEC file. Once done, a window with all the device part numbers supported by this software opens up. Scroll down to the particular device for which you would like to create the JEDEC file and click Configure button next to it. As you can see, the device in which we need to configure the CY2XO13 has a configure button next to it. Clicking on it opens up a new window in which the various parameters of this device can be specified. The first one being the power down or the output enable. It can be changed by going to the drop down powered here. The next one is the device type, whether it's a commercial or an industrial type. Here we will program the commercial device, specify the VDD voltage 2.5 or 3.3. I've chosen 3.3, and specify the particular output frequency. For example, let us use 100 megahertz, which is the default value. You can also make the change in the particular text box, and finally specify the band in which you would like to measure the RMS phase jitter. So the default value is 12 kilohertz to the 20 megahertz. We will use the default setting here. Once you have specified all the various parameters, you can click on Calculate to create the required JEDEC file. Once this is done, phase noise plot for your required configuration comes up on screen. The one with the least phase noise, which is 644 femtoseconds graph over here, this gets displayed up on the screen. You can do a comparison between the various other configurations by clicking the checkbox next to it. And right now the JEDEC file has been created for this particular configuration. Finally, you can click on the results tab. Here it will show you what is the desired frequency you wish to program, which was 100 megahertz. The actual frequency in the configuration file is also 100 megahertz, and hence the ppm error is 0. We will now set up the CY3675 programming kit for programming the device using the JEDEC file that we just created. CY3675 has a main programming board, and a socket adapter will sit on top of the main programming board. Once you've set the socket adapter, you will then need to use the USB to I2C bridge that would help you to connect this programming board to the PC. As you can see, there is a slot at the bottom of the programming board on which this USB to I2C bridge gets connected. Once this particular connection has been made, we will use a USB cable to connect this programming kit to the PC. And finally, we will power up the programming kit with a 15-volt power supply. The device you wish to program actually sits on top of the socket, where you could actually see we have already placed the device we wish to program. Once you place the device, close the particular socket so that we can program the device. Now we will use the clock programmer software to program this device. In the clock programmer software, the first thing is to ensure that we are connected to the programming kit. This can be done by clicking on the connect button here, and this would ensure that your PC is connected to the programming kit. The next thing is to ensure that we load the JDEC file from the place that we had stored before, selecting the particular JDEC file. Once the JDEC file has been loaded to the clock programmer software, click on the device which you are programming, the CY3675 click the programmer button next to the folder icon. The device is now actually getting programmed, and the device now has been successfully programmed. You will see a pass on all the various functions that are being carried out to program the device. Once the device is programmed, you can even verify if the programming has been done correctly. Once you see the pass verification, you have verified that the configuration file that you had created, or the JDEC file that you had created, has been transferred to your device, and the device has now been programmed. With this, the training for programming a FleXO device is now complete. For additional support, please visit cypress.com/support, and you can also create a case for technical assistance. Else contact your local sales representative or authorized distributor. Thank you.